I don't know what it's like at your bit, but mate, see the fucking wind here.
Well, it's mental, I know.
Honestly, mate, I don't know how we. So yesterday.
I see you be sad voice. It's not right with you. You can cheer.
No, because I've never been, you know how you've had your problems with your flats. See, thankfully, mate, touch wood, I've never had anything like that. Like, I flooded my neighbour once downstairs, but there was fuck all wrong with my house. My house was going dry, mate. I was like, not that problem, Aye. Everything I've lost is, everything I own's underwater. Mate, come up my house, mate. It's fucking roasted toasty up here, mate. How come your carpets are squelching, my man?
I'll do your washing, my man.
Never had any problems, right? And 2 nights ago, when the first so-called storm hit, because in the old days, wind was just wind. Now it's got a name and it's a storm, right?
Aye.
Mate, we had to bring the furniture in for the balcony because I was convinced that because it's a glass surround, I was like, one of the chairs is going to fucking smash through that. Anyway, long story short, the wind was horrendous. Had to go and check everything and make sure there was nothing in the garden that could if it took off, could fucking murder somebody. Went out yesterday. So I'm just standing in the back garden with a dog and I'm just looking up at the tiles to see if there's any damage. Nothing. And then see when I looked at my neighbours, I don't know what when you got the roof, like that, you know how a roof, mate, slash. Here's the chapel.
How long have you been doing the roof snap for?
I've been in the roof game for a long time, mate. See it up, right? And then there's a technical term for the bit that runs along the top.
Aye. I was going to say what it was, but I forgot.
You know what
the flashing,
I mean, mate?
The flashing.
The terracotta round.
It's the flashing, my man.
So the neighbour's house, which is an exact
is that the bit that you write your name in lead? You're
like Spunky Breed was here 2021, Le Chateau. Mate, her whole middle bit is almost gone.
Aye.
So there's 2 bits up like that. There was fucking two birds
probably
in
a big aluminium bit. It's coat underneath it. That happened in my old house. It fucking's just there like a big fucking flat name.
No, well, it's like, I don't know I want to say concrete, but it's no concrete, but it looks like it's stone. So 2 of them are up, 2 of them are now up pointing like that, 2, and then the next 2 are missing. They're gone. So one's in a back garden, smashed to fucking bits, but it's right on the tip of the house. And I'm just like, and I'm thinking, what if something was to happen here that we couldn't live? Where would you fucking go? Because I've got
to fix it.
Mate, honestly, so the day
maybe a wee bit more rural and you're more exposed to the elements and that, you know, because see, God, he doesn't care if you're insured or no, my man. He's like, take it all. I love you, right? But if I kill a few, that's just like going me.
Oh, mate, do you know what, Mal? You're right. God doesn't care where you're or who you're, as long as you're no gays. Like, it doesn't matter that. I mean, blow the wind down.
See, God, right? He's like a gangster. He's like a fucking. He's a baller, man. But he does hundreds of things, and you've just got to forgive him, man, because he loves us.
Here, Mal, here's the thing, right? See, God is God Jesus, or is that like 2 different cunts?
They're all the same, man. It's like a big fucking Power Ranger that just joins up into hundreds of things, man. You're like, God, I love you. You're brilliant. Cancer, you're dead. Oh, but I still love you. You're brilliant. You're 2 veins. I love you, God. I love you. He's all deed. Oh, you're the best God ever. I'll see you in heaven. There's no heaven. I was only kidding on. He's a brick. My man. There's no virgins up here. Fuck all. I've pumped them all.
My man, light this for us a minute. Yeah, right.
Light this with one of your thunder rods.
No, what I've here, God, gonna do is a fucking heavy favour, man. I've only
big man.
one request, right? Know how like you pure get the gas lighters and it's like a wee tiny like a flame that comes out. Gonna let me spot this joint off your cock like that, man. Just make a wee flame come right out the bell end of your jab. Like,
that's blasphemousness. That's blast off and blast. What is it? A blast felony or something like that. You burn for that. That's flaccid.
Mate, I've had 2 gram, right? But listen to me, my mind's never been clearer now. I've figured this all out, right? See how the band D12 with Eminem and that, right? Well, here's the thing. It was only shut up when I'm talking about it. There's only 4 of them in D12, right? And when there's only 4 of them, right? Because they're all like alter egos and that. So see, like God is Jesus and the Pope. He's like in D12, man. Know what I mean?
They're like a new rap gang coming to clean up the world.
Aye, man, like Kumbaya, my lord.
And no, see if like God had like a Grammy or an Oscar, he'd be like that.
But here's the thing, mate. God invented blow. Know what I mean? So Jesus is like at the upper high flats, like just go, here, body of Christ, fucking blow from my bag. And then next minute he's making a list. Check that twice. Gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Jesus Christ is coming.
It's coming to town.
Anyway.
He's pumping all the virgins
while you're sleeping.
He's touching all the winds.
He's doing what the fuck he wants because he's the son of God. Oh, better watch out. You better not cry. Imagine that's what church was like. I'm telling you why the Pope's in town. He's here for a sesh.
He's starting all your jolly. He's drinking all your booze.
He's taking your more in the bin shed.
And then he's going upstairs for a snooze. Oh, you better watch.
You better look right. I'm telling you why. Jesus Christ is coming.
It's just the Pope, Jesus and God in a huddle just go like that. Jesus, come on.
Freedom and riding big white and gold Harleys. Anyway, 162 episode of the hashtag. So strange start, odd start, but we've started nonetheless. We're not going back. We're no editing. We're moving on. Luckily, with a hot cup of tea, steam arising. I am obviously making sure we're on point with the branded merchandise.
Oh, beautiful! You know, I looked at my hashtag cup mug. Sorry, and I just wanted a bigger cup because I know. I just don't feel good. I just don't feel good, Scott.
I'm going to send you. Sorry, I'm going to send you a picture right now. Mallorca.
What off show, or are we talking? We can.
Yeah, no, on your phone. I want to see your reaction live on the screen. Now, this is what I'm going to say to you, and I know this is going to be bad radio because the listeners, the heroes,
can't see this,
and the scumbags can't see the pictures. But I just want to see Mal's wee face because I actually meant to send you this earlier on. This came today in the post. You might know, my missus used to live in China. She was teaching English over there. She started doing her Chinese. She's working for the MI5, mate. She started doing Chinese lessons again because she wants to get her Chinese back up to the way it was when she could actually hold conversation. So she's been doing her lessons for about a year now. She's actually sitting a test quite soon so that she could teach Chinese. That's how good her Chinese is getting. Long story short, she's been making some connections in the world of let's say in the world of industry over in China, because
she has a fucking picture already. Where is it?
She has an Etsy shop, so she has to get suppliers, wheeling and dealing. And this is something that came in the post today from one of her Chinese suppliers.
A Chinese one.
Mal needs to see this. Now, remember, Mal, and all I'm going to say is both of these things cost less than £3.
Wow. Where can I see it now? Because you brought me up.
Right now, when I saw this, I thought Mal needs to see this possible merch option in the future. Okay,
correct.
And they've been sent now. Remember the cost? £3.
£3 each. I'm clicking open it
for
now.
For both.
Oh, hello there. Yes and yes.
Look at that wee face.
No,
mate. Honestly,
I'm not going to say what it is, right? But they are fucking dino.
Some pair of bangers, aren't they?
Mate, you stick with her, by the way. She's a keeper, my man.
No, I said to you and Yaz, I got a Barrowlands print off Yaz as a wee present.
Oh, she was in
fucking belter.
She was in the flat the other day. I had to hire her arse out for the weekend because we're tight on cash. But by the time we paid Mal for the Airbnb, we all made something coin. You know what I mean? So it's not really worth it. But you got your wee print and you were more than happy.
I was happy with the dirty sheets and the pants you left. That was fine, man.
Do you know the worst thing? See, because, and it's like anything else, we know the feeling where, maybe you do something, like you make a song or you do something, you do a show or I do a show or whatever, and people maybe come up to you sometimes and they're like, fucking hell, man, that was one of the best nights ever. And yourself, I didn't really feel that. Or, you know what I mean? That feeling of...
I don't think you can ever appreciate something that you've done yourself. You can't see it with other people's eyes.
Exactly. And Yaz is the exact same. Because you say to me, I think I'm going to take a print for Matt. I was like, I'd rather have a bottle of wine. She's like, I'm going to take a print. She's like, I'm going to take a print. And
leave it for him. She went, is that a bit weird now? It's not weird. He'll love it. And she went, no, I don't think he might not even like it now. No boy. I mean, I'm telling you, honestly, he would like it. Give him the Barrowlands one. Because he's been to see a few bands there. So give him the Barrowlands one.
I'll tell you the full story.
No, I was totally made up. I get
even in a frame as well. I was like, fucking wasting that kind of money for.
I actually text her, because me and Yaz talk, we don't need you. You're just a third wheel, Scott. We chat, we banter. And I said, listen, this is coming straight from the heart. Thank you. No, I did say, thanks very much. You didn't need to do that. It was lovely. And you know what, as well? It was great because I'm sure she put a wee bit. Well, it's Glasgow on it and all that, but I really liked it as well because, like I said to you, I've got special memories in the bars. Seeing various bands and selling it out myself as a headline artist.
That's the first time I saw you. It's the first time I saw you DJ. Was the Barrowlands?
You came along. Yeah, was it a George Bowie or no Cash for Kids thing or something? You popped in, or was it one of my raves?
One of your raves, mate, ages ago. I mean, like when we first started doing the podcast, because I was in Glasgow or I was somewhere else. I was coming back.
You were doing a gig or something?
Aye, and I popped in and I tried to get backstage and the guy wouldn't let me. And then I was like, trying to get your attention in the front, but it was just carnage with the raves. And then you were just on stage with a beanie hat going fucking bananas. But it was amazing.
Smashing it.
It was amazing to see, man. And the only thing was like 60 people in there still felt busy.
And they were all like, "Stop that! Stop that!" That's right. I think I remember the gig. I think it was
it's amazing when you think. It's amazing when you think of the amount of like history that's in the Barrowlands.
Oh, incredible!
Like she basically drew the Barrowlands because obviously she's a massive Frightened Rabbit fans, and she had searched for their name on the steps. When they put loads of bands on it.
Uh-huh.
And is Ultrasonic on that?
No, but I've been saying, just for Ultrasonic, I've been saying to the guys at the bars, you need to recognise dance music at the bars.
Aye, and they don't. Why is that?
They don't
do
it at all. No, they don't. And they've got a wee Facebook page and they give everybody a line on these steps. And I'm not saying Ultrasonic.
Oh, of course, Ultrasonic.
I'm saying any dance band, particularly maybe in a Scottish dance band, should be repping on that because there's been so many. I mean, I even feel like Left Field, Chemical Brothers, Underworld. I've seen so many dance bands there, but a wee tip of the hat to some maybe Scottish dance music talent. Maybe it's no cool. I don't know.
I mean, I don't get it either. I mean, the amount of not only the amount of musical talent and in particular dance music and all the different genres that have came. What the fuck is that?
Sorry, mate. Just you keep talking.
What is that? Peanuts.
My mate. I broke that conversation. I wanted a bit of chocolate. I've killed the conversation.
No, I'll bring it back. Don't you worry.
Right. My mate.
Just fucking spit it out. Tell me what it is now. No, tell me what it is now.
No, I can't because it's a story. It's a bit.
Talk to me now. What is it? Chocolate peanuts? Chocolate Krispies?
No, talk to me about what you're finishing now, about the bars.
The amount of musical talent, in particular in dance music, across all the different genres of dance music that has came from Scotland is unreal. Even when you watch, like, I remember watching the Daft Punk documentary and there were Scottish people involved in the rise of Daft Punk. Like, and
it was the Slam Boys that signed him.
I'm not here to fucking blow your own trumpet, mate, but you're one of the OGs of dance music in Scotland and there's no recognition for it.
No, because it's not
the fact that even now, I don't know who they are, right? And this is probably part of the problem. But see, when you drive through the underpass at like the Arches and they've got a couple of murals up, I'm like, who the fuck are these cunts? How's there not a Mullaghly mural? How's there not an Ultrasonic mural?
Mate, I'll get a mural when I'm dead, man. I can't see it.
Well, if you keep eating the fucking chocolate rabbit shit, you will dead pretty soon, my man.
Right, what is that?
Slam signed Daft Punk because you couldn't get a record deal.
Amazing. That Daft Punk
and the early stuff was hardcore.
But see, when they started going, oh, let's get Pharrell Williams and that, when they became all Hollywood, it was a bit shit.
I thought it was a good documentary. That album's all right.
Great documentary.
Homework, their first album, is a fucking masterpiece.
That and then the one when they remixed like all the songs, like old songs together. And that one is a separate documentary as well. When they played, what's the festival in the desert that all the hipster Americans Coachella. What a fucking documentary that was, man.
Aye, but they're going about as if they changed dance music with that, which I don't particularly agree in. But then there's bits that a day, you know, they're saying that they created the EDM genre in America, and I kind of get that. But they Coachella gigs and things like that. They're the gigs, like, even if you never went, folk will go, I went to that, it was amazing. You know, one of the gigs you had to be there, and maybe 2,000 were, but 10,000 say they were. A bullshitters gig. Anyway, Barrowlands should have some electronic dance music representing.
Mate, not just Barrowlands, Glasgow, the city of Glasgow, and even LD, mate. See, I was driving down and I saw a sign, "Welcome to Stevenson." And I was like, "How is there no a fucking welcome to Ultrasonic Land sign up?"
My mom should at least get one of the blue dots in the house, no?
100%. Mate, listen, this is the thing. We joke about this stuff. See, if you were fucking American and she's out in fucking Minnesota, she'd have a blue plaque up. Scottish cunts, mate. It's because we don't like our own doing well.
Did you not? My mom still, once in a blue moon, gets some cunt champing the door mad with it, singing and dancing at the front door.
That's amazing. Aye, the sash. Fuck all to do with you, though.
That's just the walking through.
Just because she's got a massive red hand spray painted in the side of the house, they think it's a safe haven.
The Gibbo lens fucking looking good, shall we say?
Mate, I saw a clip. I saw a clip the other day. I mean, what do you mean singing and dancing? What did they chat
try audition for a record. 1, 2,
3. What did they sing? Anybody out there?
We love your boy. I bet you just wanted. I've got 2 veins and I've just never had a chance back today. But what do you think? Obsession. What do you mean to me? Obsession. And my mom's fucking half cut at the door, trying not to laugh and go, "That's great, hey, now you keep on doing that. All the best."
Lifting up the letterbox. Is there anybody in there? Your mom's like, "Because you don't release one ballad. I'm sick of all this fucking boom boom music."
I know. She's
Is that why you released that Sugar in the hope they sing that for the door?
Aye, give my mom a break. But it's just like the hardcore, my man. But what was I got to say there? I'm up here with my deal with that. But aye, so what I just showed Scott a big glass jar filled with what looks like Maltesers.
Aye.
But they're not.
Are you going to tell me it's like chocolate covered gin soaked grapes?
My mate was up at the biscuit factory. And he went, he goes, "Did you ever do that when you're young?" I went, "I used to, once in a blue moon, we would get like a bag of broken biscuits.
Right.
And it was like the ultimate treat. Right. And basically, it's just what it is. It's broken biscuits for the biscuit factory.
Aye, but how many, but the best thing in that was when you would open the box or when they came in a bag, you used to get them for
just in a poly bag, a white bag, sorry, a clear.
It wasn't Farm Foods and it wasn't Iceland. There was a Scottish one before Farm Foods. Can you ever remember what that was called? And it was like a shite Farm Foods, but it was a Scottish company that had it. And then Iceland. I think Farm Foods, no, it wasn't Iceland, mate, because there used to be one in Rutherglen at my granny's. Anyway, I can't remember. Effectively, it's Farm Foods before Farm Foods.
Right,
but it was a Scottish company, and they used to sell bags of broken biscuits. And then sometimes you would, obviously, she'd empty them out in like a biscuit tin, and you would get like a whole chocolate finger, and you'd be like, "I'll beat the system, man. It's not broken."
They got through.
Or there was like a custard cream with a tiny corner knocked off it. You're like, "That's fine for me. Hello."
Give that to the vicar when he comes. No, but so he was my mate Gonzo. He's a lovely guy, man, and he's one of the guys that
Gonzo
would do anything for you. See if anybody's got if he could help anybody in any way, like
a good Protestant.
He's a mad fucking Tim, man. He's mad for a Celtic, right? But that's fine with me, man. That's fine
even better. Even better.
So it was like this before he's done things like he's got me things like the last time me and him he helped me out was he got us a big fucking still saw and we cut into cut a chimney out a fucking flat. Anyway, he said to me, he goes, "Guess where I'm working?" And I went, "I don't know." And he goes, "I was up at the fucking the Cadbury shop." And I went, "Oh," because Gonzo likes a bit of chocolate. And he goes, "Mind the broken biscuits, Mal? Did you ever have them?" And it just went flashback. And I went, "Broken biscuits?" Fuck me. Mate,
so we started. I am broken biscuits.
Aye, my heart's a broken biscuit.
I was conceived over a bag of broken biscuits.
That's my wee brother McVitie.
And my dad pulled out a fucking full hobnob. My mom's like, "Get in me right now." And then I was born 9 months later.
I was born in broken biscuits. But so he said broken biscuits, and as soon as he said that, it just, it lit a light bulb went off my head, and I just remembered what we've just been talking about, all the wee mad stories. So the two of us were on the right cackle with the broken biscuits. He went, "I fucking bought a bag of them £5 for a fucking bag, right? And I went, bullshit. And he went, look, it's £5 for that, and it's £10 for that. And he's showed me the size of the bags. He's just kind of visually showing me.
So
we had a good laugh at that. On Sunday, we were doing a charity gig for the Recover folk, the people in recovery. And I have to say as well, big shout out to them. It was fucking incredible. And so Gonzo's DJing as well. And he's like, you got a bag with you, Mal? And I went,
of course I have, man. How do you think I fucking sneak the drink in here?
and he went, here, stick that in your bag. And he fucking pulled out that. And he even put it in the wee fancy jar. He goes, I didn't want to bring it in a wee bag because there was a bust. And I went, what's that? I thought it was coffee at first. I went, what's that? And he went, fucking chocolate. I'm up to the biscuit factory again. And I got you some. And then this was like, I spoke to him about this about fucking 2 months ago. And I was like, mate, good man. That is amazing. And it just really tickled me that he's such a nice guy. A conversation that we had fucking months ago, he's went, I'm fucking going to get Mal some. And so he got me that. And, you know, I've been, and maybe that's how I feel poorly the day, because I've been fucking fucking nobody's business.
You're feeling bad now because you regret grassing into the social because you're still signing on and taking a wage, didn't you?
Well, listen, I don't let anybody know when I do things like that. Because I need to work out where they stay first. And then I'll say things like, hey, what's your national insurance number?
Listen, did we not just speak literally last week about your wee fat tits and now you're sitting fucking munching a full jar of Maltesers?
Listen.
Look, you've even got a loose fitting t-shirt on the day and all. So you don't see
that t-shirt nips. You said you can see my tits in?
That going to bin? I bet you did.
No, that's my favourite jumper as well, you prick. You fucking ruined it. Listen to you with your fucking lumberjack shirt there, sitting there hinking your fucking Jack Tearaway.
Mate, I'm fucking...
That's right at the wrapper. That's not even washed.
Sticks, my man.
It still starts. Look at the shooters. That's pure dynasty.
No, do you know what this is? This is a
fucking American football player.
Is it called a slacket? What's it called when it's a shirt?
A lumberjack shirt.
You know why these...
A thick shirt.
Overcoat shirt, I don't know what it's called, but it's one of them. But it's freezing in here. Oh, I don't know if I can show you on this camera though. The missus bought me a heater. Can you see this for the
I've
office?
seen it in one of your fucking amazing posts.
Oh my god, it's fucking so roasty toasty.
Does it work? Amazing. It looks fucking teeny.
It is, but it's pure heavy industrial, mate. It's amazing. I can't have it. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 8 settings on it, and I can't put it past the first setting because it's too warm.
Can I give you a tip, Scott? As one man to another man.
Hello there.
Now, I used to have a studio, a small broom cupboard studio that was fucking Arctic freezing, right?
Much like this.
Now, see if you take that said heater, and you just put it under your desk,
that's what it is,
close to your foot at a low temperature. I'll sort you right out, son.
That's what it got. I had it up here because I didn't want the dog getting near it.
Right. The dog was sleeping in front of it.
Well, the dog was sleeping in front of it, and I was getting no heat, and I was like, right, you're out of here.
Aye.
But there you go. Good times. Couple of things I've got to talk about. I don't know if you've got anything to discuss in this episode.
No, just turn up. I was actually going to do a COVID test during this episode.
See if you turn around 4 days before hashtag live and tell me you've got COVID, mate. Do you know what? That would be your luck. That would be your luck that one is getting. I've been
feeling fucked. I've been absolutely... last night I thought I was going to puke.
I heard a thing, and I don't know if it's true or not, that apparently around about April or May, that the world governments are going to consider doing a kind of antibody testing, where if you have gone up to that point without having contracted COVID, you're going to be asked to come in and do a selection of blood tests so they can look at your blood plasma to see if there's anything in it that they can use for possible future vaccines, which at this point would be me. I've still not had it.
You might be immune, or you might be one of the folk that just get it and pass it on to folk.
But I might be a pure superhuman, mate.
You might be the saviour of humanity.
Mate, I might be Jesus Christ. You can't get me, China.
My blood is wine, and my fucking
my
muscles is breed.
So a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about, right?
This episode's coming out after hashtag live, and it's next week. This comes out.
No,
all right. This is before. So this Sunday, hashtag live. Okay, hashtag live, with you. Yeah.
I was listening to an interview with Elon Musk. Elon Musk, right? And it's mind blowing, man. The stuff that he talks about is just, you're like, what? So the whole conversation was about the self-driving technology for Tesla, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how do they think that next year, or maybe even this year, actually, that
What
they're
do they
going
call
to
it? Autonomous. It's autonomous, Scott.
be autonomous, right? Well, probably I think because this would have been last year the episode, so it would be this year, 2022. It's going to be legal across every single state in America. So I imagine if that's the case, then it'll come into play in Europe as well, right? And they're talking about how they process it and how he's talking about your eyes and he's talking about the human brain and how they have to make the car 3 times safer than a human driver, right? And if they can prove that it's 3 times safer than a human driver, then there's basically no court in the land that can, not stop them doing it, kind of thing, or stop you using it, right? And they were talking about the number of times, I think it's like a critical error is what they call it, the number of times that's come down. And that's basically the number of times where somebody's been using the autopilot and then they've grabbed the wheel because they've either shot themselves or something's happened. And that number has like dramatically reduced, right? But the thing that was blowing my mind is he's talking about the technology that they use to design the cameras. So he's asking this guy, he says, look straight ahead at me and then tell me what you can see in your peripheral vision. So he's describing the studio and whatnot that you can see around him. And he says, right, now look to your left and then look to your right and then look back at me again. He went, now, you see the picture that's on that wall? What colour is that picture? And when he tells him the colour, he's not completely right, but he's not far off it. And the guy's like, but I know what colour that is. He went, but the problem is your eyes, seeing your peripheral vision as a human, your eyes don't actually process. So there's no information being processed in your peripheral vision. This is all done through memory. And it's done through your eyes taking the information that it has around you, and then it basically paints your peripheral in. So even though you can see in your peripheral vision, you don't actually see it. It's your brain processing what it thinks is there, what colour is there, and then it paints it into your mind. And he's like, and as soon as we discovered that, we were able to prove it. I'm like, how the fuck does he?
Amazing,
what
isn't
are you talking, mate? It is the stuff that he's talking about. I mean, first of all, half of it, the words sound made up. Like it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I'm listening to him, and I'm listening about the other stuff that people have got in Tesla that they're designing, that they're building. You're just going, there's literally another universe of fucking ideas and technology that exists that we haven't even got the slightest idea about.
Aye, it's just happening. They're just on a different level.
See, if you were like, I saw a video with fucking what's his name, Leonardo DiCaprio, right? And he's kicking about one of the Tesla factories, and Elon Musk is trying to explain stuff to him and tell him what's going on, and he's just blown away by it all. And I'm like, can you imagine if you just got him pissed one night, Musk, and went, like, what's going on, really? Some of the stuff.
Well, that's what I thought was hilarious about the Ned sketch that we did, because that was it, getting Efron mad with it. And then him being that mad with it, he just starts talking numbers, binary. Because he's away. He's in a different level of fucking thinking.
001115.
When he's talking about your eyes, how your eyesight works, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's talking about how the human brain is he says it's such a bad computer. And I was like, imagine saying the human brain's a bad computer when it's when everyone thinks it's like your brain is one of the most incredible things ever. He says there's no space for memory in your brain. He says, so what your brain does is it tries and creates kind of like zip files. So it takes an event, a situation, a picture, a face, or whatever, and through stimulation, your brain recognizes that this is an important part of your life. So what it does is instead of remembering the whole thing, it takes important snapshots of it and then condenses that down and stores it away. And over time, as you forget things, your brain has to clear out space because every day it's processing information. And he's like, but we have to process it so that the information that's brought in through AI is constantly retained and updated. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Where did you watch this, man? I'd like to watch that.
The guy's called.
Is it a podcast interview or something?
It is a podcast because I wanted to talk about this as well. So his name is Lex Friedman. So it's the Lex Friedman podcast. Now I heard of this guy because he was on Rogan's podcast, and Lex Friedman is like Joe Rogan, but the Lex Friedman guy is very deadpan and his voice a bit annoying, but the people who he has on are all like fucking cunts that invented rockets or people. It's all very intellectual, so it's quite heavy. Like there's nobody on there going, "Yeah, listen, imagine if Jesus."
You ever done DMT, Lex?
There's none. It's none of that. It's all like Elon Musk talking about mad stuff for 4 hours, and you're just like, because it took me 2 days to listen to the whole thing, because I'm at one point I had to pause it and went, I don't even know.
Your brain just
I've just listened to that
pop.
for 20 minutes and none of it went in. Like, I don't even know what the hell he was talking about there.
But do you know, Hank, that, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the hashtag show. Well, we'll come back with some arse and tit jokes later. But do you not think that the human mind, it's went as far as it can go, and it is technology is going to take us to the next level? Because, like you're saying, I think all we've got now is the human element, which is soul, empathy, understand, that kind of shit. Whereas the mind, we've maxed out the mind, because we only gone any further, and it's the event of technology and AI that's going to take us to the future, because we have, as a race, we've got to as far as we possibly can go.
I think you're right. I mean, remember, like, you hear all this stuff going like, you only use 10% of your brain. Like, I think that's a bit exaggerated, but maybe you're right. And like, people maybe a couple of years ago or decades ago thought you'll get to the point where you'll be able to unlock your mind and you can like move objects with your mind, pure telekinesis and all that. Maybe that's maybe the reality is that people are getting smarter and smarter, or their understanding of technology increases, so we are able to create everything that we would ever desire. But how far do you go where you create so many things to the point where it effectively
it detaches us from humanity?
What about this?
We're going to be on the metasphere in a pod. Know what I mean? Not even living anymore. Man? What about this, right?
What about this?
What
You
about
only use, let's say you only use fucking 50% of your mind.
What if your 50%'s carved out and you put a hard drive in there, right? and it's you're intertwined like a cybernaut with an artificial intelligence, artificial jelly jets.
Artificial intelligence.
That's it, my man. And it's that interweb of technology and that helps you work out equations, and you know you can get jobs in that.
Well, that's the sure, that was the whole thing. Fucking pal Musket, Efron Musket, was on a podcast not that long ago. Well, last year sometime, and he got a bit of backlash because he was talking about like the invention of robots and AI that's going to come very, very soon, like probably in the next 5 to 10 years. Where
there's companies already working on it.
Well, that's what I mean. Where human interaction is dramatic. There's just, so, for example, anywhere you go, a cinema, a supermarket, a restaurant, Starbucks, it will all be robotics. There'll be no humans there. There'll be no need for them. So
as long as it's sexy robots like the Chinese ones out of fucking...
The ones with the big massive bangers.
But his thing is like, see, because he's from that world, he can't understand that there are some people who might want to speak to a person, or there might be somebody who wants to work in a cinema or a supermarket. His whole thing is like, why would you want to do that when I can just make a robot to do that for you? He's like, but then what am I going to do, Fran? I don't know. Get on the metaverse and sit in the house.
Well, that's it. You can do anything you want. You can be anything you want.
But I think that's the way it is. I mean, if I speak to, say, for instance, like Maria's no interested in any of that chat. She's just like, why do I even want to waste time thinking about some of the mad shit that I think about, right? And I'm like, no, listen, you're partly AI already. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I just say what Efron says. And see your phone, that is artificial intelligence, and that is an extension of your integration with technology, because you rely on that for information. And the thing that they're trying to better is the amount of time it takes the data for your phone to get to your mind. And once that becomes, you know, it's your thumb, it's slowing everything down. You have to type in information, then read it, and it gets your mind. They're actually trying to tie that technology into your body, so the phone doesn't exist; it's in you.
Well, that's is Musket or no Tesla, but one of the companies, they're working on an AI implant, so it goes a chip that goes into your brain.
That's Musket is doing that. Like,
they've already got the Google Glass where you can project stuff into your glasses.
It's fucking brilliant, man. It's mental. But then again, I think there's going to be a big backlash.
Just like X-hamster right into the lens, mate.
That's it.
Walking about.
Just stunning somewhere still with a big boner, big stonking hard on.
I've got a website here, right? The 11 creepiest technologies that exist today. So
that fucking AI robot just looks creepy. Even if it never opened its mouth, it just looks like something out of a horror film.
21st century is a great time to be alive. Apparently, we drive electric cars. We're curing diseases. We'll soon be returning to the moon and rockets, more reusable than space shuttle. Blah, 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 blah. Here are the 11 technologies that are so creepy they're keeping tech experts and futurists awake at night. China's social credit system. What is that?
The money.
If you have seen the Black Mirror episode Nosedive, you're familiar with the idea of using social media reputation as a sort of social currency for keeping a job, getting an apartment, and using other everyday services. What you might not realize is that China is actually implementing that very thing in real life. It's arguably the largest social engineering experiment in human history. Enabled by artificial intelligence, especially face recognition and big data analysts. You can lose your credit for criticizing the Communist Party, as well as for not having your dog on a leash. Low-scoring citizens are banned from traveling, work, or private schools. Your mugshot can even be shown in movie theaters before the movie. What the fuck?
That's mental, isn't it?
Now, I know that for what Yasmin's told me, like, they have this, and I didn't realize that's what it's called, the social credit system. But remember I said to you before about when you recycle in China, you're given credits. So they have this thing called WeChat, right, which is WhatsApp. So you know everything that exists.
Because you can't have Western gadgets. They've got their own internet and their
nothing
own
exists.
apps and
nothing exists in China. So they have their own Chinese internet. They don't have Google. They have nothing, right? Which in itself is fucking impressive, man. Like,
well, that's government control, Scott. It's not scary, I think. But then,
is that not a totem pole, totalitarian government?
Mate, I've said this before. See, sometimes there are certain things in communism is a good idea. Like, see when I go to the supermarket and she's like to me, get mayonnaise, and I go to look and there's like 50 different types of mayonnaise.
Yeah,
I'm like, how is there no communism, but it's just fucking mayo, one thing, boom, on. This is what the government says, move on. So she's got that thing where you recycle, you get credits, right? So WeChat is the WhatsApp, but that's all through your banking system. So you can send money, all your transactions are through it. And she was saying things like, you can get banned off it, you can grasp people in the fucking government straight on you, mate. It's awful, man.
But then that is essentially control, because they're not letting, they're restricting anybody from having outside information, as in they can't even get on the www internet that we know. They've got their own internet.
It's like
you can't log on online
and you go there. So
it's like wee eye emoji w.china.biz.
They've got Netflix instead of Netflix or something like that.
I mean, but everything they've got, they've made it their own. They've got the big virtual shopping malls and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's scary because that is a template of how the rest of the world's going to be in the future. And somebody's going to have that control, or it's just going to be several big players, big tech players fighting for that control. And it's going to outweigh politics. It's going to outweigh military.
Well, mate, look at it just now, right? And I know sometimes this is quite hard for people to process and understand, because see, when I try and talk to my mum about stuff like this, she's like, none of that involves me. I'm like, Mum,
that's kind of my missus' stance, right?
You exist in life, therefore it involves you. So I'm trying to say, I mean, have you got a Tesco Club card? She's like, aye. I says, well, that's it. That's you in the system, then.
Collecting your data.
They've
some bargains on that now, by the way. Hey,
where did they want my data? I'm like, I don't know, Mum, but they use it every single thing. And as you try and say, every time that you've had a transaction in Tesco, that information is stored, it's processed. They
process that to realise they will then get that UK wide, and then they'll go, hey, baked beans isn't selling, let's bring them down 20 pence. Or fucking mayonnaise is selling, let's put that up fucking 10 pence. That's what they do with that data, essentially.
Aye, but they also do the data, mate, where they will go, for example, I'm trying to think of two rival companies, right? The easiest one would be Coke and Pepsi. Aldi's. So they would say to them, right, they gather all the information, and then we find out that we have sold 10 million units of Coca-Cola last week in fucking Easterhouse. And I phone up Mr. Pepsi and I go, listen, just to let you know, your competitors outselling you 2-1. If you were to
couple of billboards,
50 grand about advertising, take out some space in the Tesco
Correct.
magazine. Maybe we reposition so Coca-Cola, we move that further down, we put Pepsi up and we push that on a 2-for-1 off on a deal and they get more money.
Correct.
Everything's all about generating money. Tesco Club Card is a great example because it's also saying like almost the kind of conversations people are having about being vaccinated against not being vaccinated. Tesco are saying, listen, here's a great deal on washing powder, something that you need. And it'll be things like they use that data and they go, right, what are people buying? People have been buying toilet roll. Right, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take this toilet roll and we're going to price it at £2. Like, you're crazy. That's half the price. But you need to be a club card member. And if you're not a club card member, it's 40 quid. So they encourage you to sign up. And then once you're signed up, they've got it. And they do it in such a way that they're taking data which you can't use. It's no tangible to use. It's not as if you can go into a company and go, all right, you want to buy my data? There's no financial credit fee, but you're giving a little bit of yourself away.
I know, but you know what?
What else you got to do, mate? I need that toilet roll. I need that toilet roll, mate.
I used my missus' club card the other day there. I was in Tesco's, and this is what I bought, right? I bought
Johnny bags, baby oil, cucumber,
Razzle, Reader's Wives, a Valentine's card. No, I got a couple of packets of Chris, Haagen-Dazs ice cream, club biscuit, orange club biscuits, orange club biscuits, and a couple of pizzas, right?
Yep.
And every one of them was half price if you had a club card.
Yep, that's correct.
And I went, and I was going out, and it was only something like £10 worth of a shop. And I went, I'm going to fucking put a club card on that. And it was like less than £5. And I thought, holy fuck. There's been times, because I'm fucking scattercash, my man. There's been times I've no club carded it. And now I'm going to club card the fuck out of this every time. But then I'm giving them the data.
Big man likes Scuddy movies and Die Hard videos.
I was in a couple of weeks ago, and that's what forced me to get the club card, because I wanted to buy that pizza deal thing for a £5, and it came through at like 21 quid. And I went, that's a £5. She went, I was club card only. I went, I've not got a club card. And she went, I'll put it through on mine, son, but you need to say that. I'm going, listen, don't make it as if you've just saved me for a fucking concentration camp, right? Let's calm this down a bit here. Just fucking scan the thing and move on.
They used to do the club card, I don't know if you remember, because we did it with the Waynes and that. You spent so much and you get money back, or tickets for Alton Towers and all that shit. We used to use that. And when you just add up all if you feel you're getting something back, people are more willing to sign on, and then they collect the data and they make millions.
We've said this thousands of mate.
Nothing's for free.
Everything in this, I'm getting so angry I can't even speak. I get so fucking angry with people when they think that things are done. And I mean anything. I mean good things, bad things, things to help people, things to put people down. Every single decision that is made in life is based on money and money alone. That is it. Money makes the world go round, man. And seriously,
no
you realise that,
Gibbo.
the fucking better. But also, there's a lot of things you can't change. People, see what I was listening again, Rogan, right? So see, because all this stuff's happening with the Rogan podcast about people are Neil Young and fucking Joni Mitchell and new fucking Prince Harry going misinformation. So I have been listening to all of the controversial episodes to see if there's anything controversial in it. And as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing controversial.
Opinions,
it's just someone who has a different opinion from the mainstream. That's it. The guy who was on, who's like he does come across as being almost a bit fucking schizophrenic.
But they don't learn the doctors. They know like fucking.
Oh, I know. I'm not talking. This guy's got nothing to do with COVID. This guy's got to do with surveillance, and he's like one of these guys where his problem is. See, right at the very start, he says, "I don't have a smartphone. I have one of these phones that's been hacked, and it's on a different operating system." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, this cunt's a bit mental." I understand that governments, companies, big tech, Google. I understand that Google has billions upon billions of databytes of my information. I get it. But at the same time, I understand that my phone listens to me and it sends me adverts for stuff. I don't have a problem with that because I don't think there's ever anything that I'm saying.
You're no mining for fucking pedos or anything like that. It's not as if you're looking at child porn.
No.
Because that's where I had to change my phone.
But at the same time, when people go down that rabbit hole, because everything's done in small increments, you don't notice the changes. Like you're saying, phones first came in, it was all about, when you were young, it was all about having a phone because they were a bit expensive, so you just wanted to be cool. And then they started doing the things where you didn't pay for a handset, so suddenly the phone, not what it does or what information it gives you, but the physical phone became worthless because you get a new one every year. And then phone companies start
You
to
still need to
panic.
pay for that, Scott. You're paying 50, 60 quid a month.
I know, but if you look at the way
Nothing's
that
for free.
if you look at the way the structure went, mate, phone contracts used to be like £12 a month, but you had to pay 100 quid for the phone. Then phone companies went, wait a minute here, it's the upfront cost that's causing people issues. So let's give them the phone for free, but we'll stick it on monthly, because the idea of debt in our society is nothing. The idea of like you having credit cards or a big fucking mortgage or you're on your overdraft, that's nothing to us, because we are now conditioned to think, fuck it, everybody's in debt. But not everybody is in debt, and you don't have to be in debt. So now you've got a thing that effectively has your life on it, which holds no real value because you just get a new one every year. Even now, like, well, see when I'm going to the bathroom, I'll take my phone with me. And
of course.
Why? Every time you got up and leave the room, you take a phone. Why?
Because something today, you feel you need something today.
And I wish I could just leave it and no bother it.
But you can't. You can't.
No, you can't, mate. And then you also even like, see, at night time, I put my phone in flight mode, right, when I go to my bed, because I don't want it going off.
Sleep mode, you want to put it on, man.
And then see when you wake up in the morning and you get all the shit pinging through, the first half hour of my day is sitting going, fucking hell, what have we got here? Whereas I'm like, how much of my time is wasted?
Do you know program your phone on nighttime mode? Or is you're not on an iPhone, now, you know?
I'm on an
One
iPhone,
of the best things I did, I switched my phone to nighttime mode. I think it's 9 o'clock, and I switch it back on at 10 in the morning, so I don't get any fucking pings through the night, so I can watch TV and no cunts phoning me. And like my me time. It's the best thing. The best thing you do, man. You keep it, because it's like you keep be looking at red tube a lot, and there's no messages coming through. It's just solid wanking all the way to the business.
9 p.m. That's me on me time. Put the phone on sleep mode, and then www.xvideos.com, and I just unbuckle my pants, sit back, and I just I see what the thumbnails say to me. I let the thumbnails speak to me.
My man, happy life, happy life.
My man.
And but you know what as well? Do you get this as well? If you're in an environment and some cunt takes the phone out of their pocket, it could be somebody in a train or a bus. You have to feel that urge to check your phone because you've seen somebody check their phone. What the fuck's that all about?
You know, Hank, see if you're on, like, I always get it on the subway. I mean, when was the last time I was on a subway? Fuck knows. But when you used to go in the tube and you'd see a person reading a physical book, and you're like, good for you. Good for you, mate.
You're
old
like,
school.
Yeah, look at you, you fucking tramp. Can't even afford a Findle.
Good for you, mate. Old school.
I just slap it book right out the fucking horn. Whatish.
No, see, the last time,
you fucking eco warrior cunt.
This wee lassie was reading a book on the subway in London, right? And I was like, I'm not fucking having that, man. It's 2019. So I went over, right? And I was like, kneecap, judo chop, right to the throat. And then I turned the book round, and she'd a fucking bit carved out, and there was an iPhone in the book. That I was like, oh no,
I've been juked. I mind that, and it was like hundreds of wins for nursery, right? They're all reading nursery books, man. I was like, Humpty Dumpty, smash, right up the carriage, man. Not a fucking dry eye in sight. And I get off at the next stop, I better, man.
Honestly, dude, man, I'll never forget a day. Last time I went to see my dad in the care home, right? Walked into like the green room bit where they're all sitting, pissing themselves. Every one of them's got a book or a magazine. I was like, not today. Socks and shoes off, roundhouse kick to the face, every single one of them. Not in my watch. Walk straight out of the care home, man. No way.
I just rolled up the books and I made it into like a kind of sword like Jason Bourne did. Whack, right to the fucking nose.
No, I did, man. I took that magazine right off her and I rolled it up nice and tight, and I put one of her old bangers across the table, went whack. You love
what
it.
a fucking rolling out a bit of dough, so I was.
You love reading a book, don't you?
I like the odd book. I've got that Jordan Peterson thing. My boy got me that for how is it 12 ways to be a better person or something.
I don't know what you're trying to say, right?
I mean, what message is that sending you and your boys getting you that?
I know, but I did say to him I quite fancied getting one of his books. But I'll tell you what, I actually get new glasses with a new prescription because my sight's fucked. And his book, I couldn't even read it with my glasses on because it must be a right brainy one because the words are dead wee and there's hundreds of words in it. Fuck all drawings in it, my man.
Yeah,
I was like,
boy.
Peterson,
I says
you
to the boy,
you draw a couple of fucking a dick picture or the tits are dead. Did you draw? It's like half a number 8.
I says to the boy, I was like, listen, I'm 40 pages into that book and there's not one picture yet. What the fuck have you bought me? Not even a colour in, nothing.
Not even one sweary word. Fuck's sake, man.
I think
if
I ever finish this fucking book, which I will finish, I think I might just put like a colour in thing or like a picture just randomly every couple of pages just to keep people interested.
Aye, just every now and again, just there's maybe a paragraph, something just they can colour in, or a wee quiz.
A wee Sudoku.
Bizarrely, I've
Sudoku.
got in presents, they chill out colouring in books.
Yep.
And the fucking freak in me would never colour them in because I don't want to ruin it.
Aye. Like, say when you used to get
Then
like
they sit unused.
remember the big ones you got? It was about A3 size. And it was almost like the black line was kind of felt material, was kind of texture to it.
No.
Like Wayne's, it came with like three like shitey fucking felt tip pens, and people used to colour them in. I'm just like, you've ruined it, but it looked better before you coloured it.
Aye.
It's a bit of art before you fucking
You
shout.
can get an adult colouring book.
Aye, Scuddy hangs in that with cocks and
Pictures of boobies and all that.
I love drawing on cartoon mollies and that. I think it's fucking amazing. It's one of the most gratifying bits of graffiti you'll ever draw. Just I can do them like, I can't draw stoners, right? But I can just do like the sack and the wee sad belly and hanging over the top. Or you do the usual one, just the two balls and the cock kind of hanging with wee.
Because drawing cocks is one of those things where
It's an art form.
But see when you've got a mate who like draws a really detailed one,
That's questions need to be asked.
That's not what I'm looking for. Like I've seen people draw ones and it's like, and it just looks like a fucking rager. It's got like big veins in it. I want a comedy Bobby.
What?
Do you know what I mean? Like
I'm simply going
to draw like kind of like your mate, like fucking Gonzo's nose coming down, and then the bell end, and then the wee beep 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 beep, the wee spunk shoots, and then a couple of hairs for the boys. I don't want something that's like really detailing over and putting shading in and all that. I'm like, no, I just want a comedy Bobby.
What that?
Oh, here we go. That looks like a fucking turnip with a growth on it.
That's what happens when you come out of sauna. That's a fucking nicky
It's like Bart Simpson's heat.
See if that was a bit of fruit, I'd fucking eat that.
Mate, if that was a Bobby, you'd eat that.
And then there's that. I was just showing Scott a picture of one of my Bobby drawings, and then the other one I really like is just the Old Faithful. That's what you do. A wee quick one. Look.
That's a classic.
That's a classic.
It's like a rocket with two beach balls at the boat, mate.
See, this one's a bit thin, but I'm thinking something like
that. That's some size, isn't it, Biggie?
That's mere.
That's the kind of cock you'd like, but maybe a bit more girth on it.
And then
that's a classic one. See, I mean, that's a comedy one.
Does that one, my man?
This is why
it's like a bush.
This is why, like, and I'm going to say something controversial here, right? And I might offend a few people. This is why I think that trans women who transition into men will never truly understand what it means to be a man, because I don't think, one, they'd know how to draw a comedy Bobby or find the humour in it. Like, see if I'm a man, right?
Maybe that should be one of the questions. Like, psychologically, are you ready?
I am a man.
Give me
right?
a bit of paper and a pen.
Now, if I transitioned into becoming a woman, I think that I could watch enough films and TV shows and take estrogen and develop my feminine side that I could.
I just watch Bridget Jones and stuff like that,
and think and be a woman. But I think if you transition from a woman to a man, I don't think you'll ever really have the mind of a man, because you'll find things like that funny.
Unless you're maybe like you're one of the fucking really dykey butch lasers, because they're quite manly. You know, the ones you're kind of scared of yourself. You know, I don't want to mess with them because they'd probably give us a doing. They ones. No, you don't know they ones, but you do. You're drawing something. Scott is drawing something, ladies and gentlemen. Did I not draw one in your notebook and you went and had a meeting somewhere or something? You were doing something?
The BBC. Because do you know what it is? I opened it up and on the note to take notes, right? There was somebody sitting next to me, and I opened it up, and the first thing was written across the whole page is "your fucking stand-up shite" or "your comedy shite," and they saw it, and I went, "Oh, sorry, it's my pal fucking messing about." And then when I turned the page over, there's a big Bobby in the other page, and I went, "Oh, just go to the next one."
Fucking hell, my work here is done. I don't need to do that ever again. That's all the sperms in the shaft.
That's like a guy for the video that fucking Ross sent, the boy in the hospital. That's a classic. Mate.
I cry that in the cannon.
I'm signing that. Who wants that? What hashtag hero wants that framed? 50 quid cash. The cannon.
Oh, brilliant. I think you could actually do like a wee selection of cock drones, you know, and have them out for display.
Oh, aye. We should rent a gallery and do like you could put up all your mad Jackson Pollock paintings, and then we'll just do one.
Just one with
do one in the back.
Do you reckon you could ever do one? Do you reckon you could ever do one? It's just like, I think that's the hard one to do. Is
no pun intended.
The fuck.
Look at you laughing at your own drawings. You absolute child. That laugh, man.
Oh man. What about this one? That's my first attempt at
Mate, that's like
is it a dinosaur?
That looks like a never ending story. Don't step in a crack or you'll fall and break your back. What a film, man. The never ending story. Mate. What a film. No, is that Land Before Time? Land Before Time, the never ending story. Land Before Time.
You can't beat, if you're doing the dumps, just get a couple of fucking wee Wally draws.
That's two things that can cheer a man up instantly. Is if your partner sends you a photograph of her breasts, or your mate sends you a photo of a bobby drawing.
I like the ones as well. You see the ones where folk draw them on newspapers and that. And it's actually a real newspaper. Somebody just drew a real. There's a guy who's posted on Facebook or something, and they're like, right, arty.
I thought you meant when you draw them on people at parties when they pass out.
Aye.
See, one night, mate, we was in a party. I mean, when I was a teenager, and two people passed out, and then it became, and it's the first time it ever happened where, because you just see it in like American movies where they start putting things on people, and mate, the boy whose house it was went fucking mental because we emptied 2 tubes of toothpaste in these countries. Like, a toothpaste, I'm going to brush my teeth. So they were holding picture frames, a boy and a lassie, man. And I mean, we could at one point I thought they just would not wake up. And I'm like, even the weight of that on you, with everything, man, it was fucking people's jackets, shoes, bottles of booze, everything just piled on them, fags up their nose, and they just wouldn't wake up.
The old faith was if you get, and it works. And I remember, you know, when we found this out, it was the ultimate. And it stopped all the stacking and drawing. Putting their hand in hot water and they piss themselves.
Aye.
It works so quickly as well.
I mind once, so my mate fell asleep, right? And I kind of knew he was waking up, man, but he played it well. So he's lying like with one hand out like that. So they filmed the hand with shavy foam. Then he tickled his face. So he rubbed shavy foam on his face, right? So he filled his hand with shavy foam. Then the guy's tickling his face. But he's awake at this point. So he tickles out. And then the guy just went, fuck, he just scuffed him right in the jaw. The hand in the water stuff.
We also used to do this one. But if I'm being honest, it's ever really only done once successfully, is you put a Mars bar down the chuck of their ass and you just let it all melt and all that, and they instantly think they've shot themselves.
Mate, I've told you before, the worst one when you spit in a Johnny and then you get a wee Bookie's pen and poke up the bum. That's the worst ever. That is the worst. That's the worst I've heard anyway. And then you say nothing. You just
imagine getting caught. Imagine you're the guy in the room poking up a fucking Johnny. That's why the guy's like, yeah.
That's why you never trust a guy that carries a Bookie's pen, Will. It's got to be a Bookie's pen or an Argos pen because I'll just the right size.
I'll do it. Don't worry, I'll do it.
I'm a kidder. I've got my own pen, a golden Bookie pen.
No, he just got hundreds of Bookie's pens. He doesn't even use them.
Opens up his jacket, doing that side. Just hundreds of like chocolate, like wildlife bars. Doing this side, hundreds of fucking Bookie's pens. Has anybody here got a Bookie's pen? Does you have this Bookie's pen?
To fucking tie horns together. I just at B&Q, I'll get a bit of gear today.
If there's two things I know how to do, it's how to wipe a hard drive and how to put a Bookie pen up a boy's arse. stand aside, young man. That's what you do. So you spit in it and then feed it up.
And then things I know how to do. It's how to wipe a hard drive and how to tell somebody not to tell them to.
I told you before we done that, a guy in rugby when we were on tour in Ireland, fucking wrapped him up in duct tape and then had to rip it off. And all the hair in his body got ripped off, man. It was what a mess he was in. He was in fucking agony as well. He went in the shower to try and like loosen it up off his balls and nothing worked, man. He just had to rip it off his nuts, pure duct tape, man. Just ripped it all to shreds. It was horrible.
Bet he deserved it.
No, he didn't, man. He did, but he didn't.
Oh, mate.
I remember one of the boys telling me as well, one of the things you do when you're mad with it, if there's a group of you go into the room and just take all the furniture out of the room, just hide it. Everything. I mean, literally, beds, bedside cabinets in the hotel room. So when they come back in, the room's just empty. And they're like, what the fuck? What did they do?
Aye.
We had to hide stuff everywhere, man. On we did that with the hotel.
We done that with our pals. You could go out on the roof. I can't remember where it was, Germany or something. You could go out on the roof and then along to another room.
Right.
And the boy bought a fucking brand new computer. It was like, even back, this is years and years ago, the computer itself was worth a few grand. And he had it all flight cased and all that, and he was going on about the computer. So we jumped on the roof along into the window of his room, stole his computer, and then planked it in one of our rooms.
Oh no!
To pretend he had his room done in, and he was fucking freaking out, thinking he'd been robbed.
I bet he went ballistic, man.
Mental, absolutely fucking mental. To the point where it wasn't even a joke anymore. You're going, how the fuck are we going to get this back?
See, they're the ones when when it goes like, because you see, that's why you only do things like that with really good friends, because you know how they're going to react.
Aye.
See, when you
this guy
and,
was
like,
a full-on nut job.
And they go off in one, you're like, oh, it's just that instant feeling of, like you've this is backfired.
You fucked with the wrong Marine.
I remember once we were on holiday, right, and we met these boys from Bradford, and we were kind of just practical jokes, messing about back and forward. And we would go to the night, have a laugh. Right, I nothing game, man, just covering his back. So one night they had a Bradford flag draped over their balcony, and we covered it in tomato sauce and set it on fire. Right, just a kind of casual, casual holiday to go.
Don't fuck with Scots, kind of casual banter.
But then I don't know, they spray painted something on the side of the wall. I can't remember what they spray painted on the wall.
Scottish bastards.
In the villa, like fucking, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish, something like that. And the wee woman's banging her door, and we're like, what's going on, man? And then she's like, you're clean. And I'm like, lad, she's of take this.
Aye, one step
this
beyond.
Is escalated, aye. One
did you see,
step beyond.
Did you see that video, that fucking TikTok video? The wee Wayne? The fucking Millwall.
No.
Oh, mate, it made me fucking cringe. A wee Wayne, like, you're lucky if he's 2-year-old. And the more other grands get him to go, fucking Millwall. Then he turns around and he just says a racist fucking comment that you just go, that's not even fucking funny.
And it's a wee boy.
It's a kid about 2 years old who's obviously grew up with everybody around about him being horrible racist bastards. And when he's going, fucking Millwall, you're laughing because you're going, what chance is that Wayne go? Then it turns around and just says this racist fucking jibe, and you're just like, no. And you can probably tell that they struggle to get the phone off.
Have you seen
it's just the horror in this Wayne's face.
Have you seen the one where the boys outside like a supermarket and he's giving the woman abuse, like they're trying to fight the staff, and they're telling them just to fuck off, basically. And then next minute, the next part of the video is the boy's dad bringing him back down to apologise.
Oh, right, aye. Did you knock something out the supermarket or something like that?
No, I think he was just trying. I don't think he stole something. I think he was trying.
He was like, I'll come here and kill. He's getting a gangster part. Aye, I did, aye.
And then his dad was like, pure, you fucking apologise. And then you can see it starts to turn a bit, and then the staff are like, he's going to get murdered when he gets home. You're like,
he probably is.
Quite right, man. What about the one? You did see the one that I sent you. It was a guy out his nut and he's climbed onto a giraffe on top of the stairs.
Like, I was waiting for that to fall.
I'm on a giraffe.
I was waiting for that.
Look at the fucking neck on his neck, ain't it? It took me a wee while to wonder what he was doing. He's actually climbed half the stair landing onto a fucking giraffe. It's on the wall. I was wanting it to just collapse down.
I thought it was going to collapse. I saw that because
he is coked out his box.
The
birds kind of try to get him. They're both him out of the box, and the birds try to get him off this giraffe. And I was thinking, how cool would it be to have a giraffe in your fucking hall? Because it get right up the stairs.
No, a real one, no.
I was thinking, what kind of fixings are they using? Because that was solid.
Aye.
The
I know, mate.
DIY guy in me was going, that's fucking right into the joists.
Yeah, my man.
How do you fix his? I mean, I try to put fucking 3 hangs up in the wall with no more nails, and one of them just keeps falling off.
Here, my man, he must have used about fucking 3 or 4 raw plugs into that. Get that held right up there, man. It's as reliable as my fucking Rager. But it's a guy's bar. I'm on a fucking giraffe. I'm on a fucking giraffe. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? It's a necky cunt. It's a necky cunt. You're just going, what kind of fucking maniac has a night out, mad with a gear, and then climbs up a set of stairs?
It's obviously it's either some fucking
TikToker.
aristocrat's house party, or they've all rented this house for a college ball or something, because they all look relatively young and every one of them's done up. He's in a dicky bow and tie, so they're obviously at some fucking
but he's got the full sweat
Tory
coke
function.
face.
Oh, I mate, he's
They're
absolutely
cooked
out
out
of
of
his
box.
style. I really,
Fucking
they're the
giraffe.
ones you watch, you think, I do hope it does collapse, man.
Aye, and he fucking hurts himself. But the part in it, I just laughed at the part. I'm sure I fucking seen you and Ross it.
You did say it.
Oh, aye. What's happening? What's happening Sunday? Are we going out for something to eat after it?
I mean, these are
If we
things that
can.
we'll discuss off air once this episode's
Oh,
out.
There's some stairs down there. I'm on a fucking giraffe. Giraffe.
This is literally quite some height.
Wait, put your vagina away.
Oh,
Wait,
fuck.
I got my vagina out.
who stuck a giraffe outside my room? Look at this, the necky bastard. Necky, mate.
They're just pure posh Tory twats, man.
I've seen a few cocked out faces in my face, and he is fucking Escobar'd up, man.
No, he's not, man. He is, he's not. Oh, yeah, it's cheeky, Mal. Look at his wee face, eh?
I put a wee post up there. Aye, man.
Right, have you got anything else for discussion this one, or we'll wrap this one up?
I've said that a few times, but I've found a new Italian restaurant in the city centre that I want to big up. I've been sharing the posts on Facebook because I think it deserves.
Mal, let me
Oh,
just
the-
say this to you, right?
What?
You're potentially,
I'm not getting meals for free or anything. It's just
no, I know, but you're potentially doing yourself a disservice here.
because they'll put the prices up.
Not just that, you might then not be able to get in for your lunch because they're too busy.
Well,
You might not be able to get in for your dinner because it's too busy.
they've fed me well. Ah, yes.
Yes,
Aye.
they fed me well. Do they know?
For
Are you on
what?
first names
A
terms yet?
succulent Italian meal.
Are you,
I
do you
cannot-
know any of the
I-
staff yet?
No, but kind of knows like, yeah. I don't know any names or that kind of thing, but it's called Roberta's and it's on, I think it's Hope Street. It's got, honestly, see if you and the missus are off through the week. I also want to ask you, remind me, and we can do
What's
this
it
on air,
called?
'cause it's good.
Robertaz or Roberto's?
Roberta's. I want to ask you where's a good place to stay in Edinburgh because I've got a fucking voucher to use and we thought we'd go through to Edinburgh for a meal and stay in Airbnb. So I want to know a good area where you should stay, where everything's kind of walking distance, pubs and restaurants. But going back to Roberta's restaurant, if you like
Yeah,
Italian,
it looks a bit fancy.
aye, well, this
Roberta's.
is the thing. It's a big.
I thought it was a mum and pop shop.
Exactly, that's what I thought. But it's a really nice, fancy restaurant, and it's big. And you go, hold on, the food won't be that good, but their attention to detail is amazing. But most importantly, they have a lunch menu Monday to Friday, which starts from 12 to 4 p.m. or something like that, on all day, and it's £11 for 2 courses, a starter and a main, or a main and a dessert. Avoid the desserts, right? Because the starters and the mains, you eat like a king. It's no any minuscule portions. It's full nighttime portions because I've went at nighttime and had the same dishes and paid a lot more.
Aye, because the prices here is extortionate.
You go to that lunch menu, £11 per person for 2 courses. It is incredible.
you know-
Incredible.
Do you not just think that an Italian menu is the best sounding menu out of all of them?
It's just the fucking best.
It's
food
just
in
the
world,
words.
isn't it?
I've got the menu in front of me here. Bavetta di manzo. That sounds
Wow.
delicious, right? Polette al pesto, rane pescriste arrozzato, peste del giorno, milanese di pollo, insalata Robertes.
Beautiful.
Bavetta de Monzo, grilled bavette steak served with chips. Steak and chips, mate. But how much better does Bravetta de Manzo? How much better does that sound than steak and chips?
Exactly. I get mussels yesterday. I don't know if you can see that.
Fat, no wonder you get fat tits. Like
Fucking amazing, right?
Every
and
day,
Maria
for
had
your lunch.
then I had kind of ravioli. Amazing, right? And Maria had a fucking mad chicken dish. With seafood in there.
See when Maria goes to an Italian restaurant, does she get all the speak of the lingo?
You know what? She doesn't. No.
Why?
Because she doesn't want to make them feel.
But do you know what?
She's judging or anything like that. Unless the guy's like, oh, fucking tu Italiani or whatever, and then it's fucking babidi, and then I go, well, I start speaking English, or I'm going to think you're fucking chatting him up.
No, maybe the boy comes over and he's like, yeah, mate, I just want to say, your fucking wife's got a right door face on her. She's one of your lot, makes you tired.
Babidi. I think that Italians is probably the only nationality that if you went for dinner and spoke Italian to them, they would like it, they would respect it, and they would be like,
you know what, mate? See that? I'm going to fucking give you an extra prawn.
Whereas I think if you went
she
into
pulls it out when she's no happy or it's serious shit done.
Aye, maybe. I think if you went to a French restaurant, you're like, bonjour, maybe you're like, fuck up, cunt.
Just in this accent for the tips.
Aye, but if you're Italian, you're like, parlez-vous Italiano, my man? But parlez-vous pesto Milanese? They'd be like, yes, brother.
Because I have a wee running joke where, like, if there is somebody who is right after the boat Italian, I'll go like, there's one of your pals. Like passing them in the street or whatever, and she just kind of goes, ha kind of thing. But what I mean by that is, like, you could get them just like talk to them and they'd be like, am I in Italy or Glasgow? What's happened to you?
Right, so are you talking about the express lunch menu?
£11.
Right, I'm on the website now and my mouth is watering.
Go, Scott. I honestly, I have been there about half a dozen times this year already.
Lunch menu, two courses, £10.95
yes.
more luckily. You even get 5 pence change.
Well, that 5 pence was coming to me. That's how I was making money off it. But I done the same as you, Scott. She told me there's a new place in Glasgow. We need to go and check Roberta's. And I thought it sounded like a wee cafe.
Yep.
And I went, I don't know. And then we passed it one day and she went, there it's there. And I went, that looks too big to be any good. Do you know that way? If it's too big, you kind of lose the intimacy or the attention to detail in the food.
Because when I saw the picture, I thought that doesn't look like it looks like a chain restaurant. It doesn't look like it's
But
is it on the corner of the
right on the fucking
burger
corner.
places? The four burger places.
It used to be a Greek. It used to be a Greek fucking.
In fact, it's just. I know exactly what you mean. It's one up for that, isn't it? It's one street up for the burger corner.
I think so. Aye.
Because you've got all bar one on that corner, and then it's the next street up, in it.
Yeah.
Aye.
I know, yeah, mate.
It's fucking incredible, and I've done reviews on TripAdvisor, Facebook, and all that because I just thought this is fucking the only. I mean, you can put tip downs and all that, but the only way to really benefit for somebody to benefit out your enjoying it is to tell friends and give them good references. You know, and that applies to anybody listening to this hashtag show. Tell your mates, leave reviews because it's the only thing that kind of helps these days.
Yep, it is, which is deeply
word of
upsetting.
mouth and reviews.
I mean, when you go to Roberta's, make sure you tell me you're a hashtag hero. It'll mean nothing, but eventually they'll be like, "There's another one telling us a hashtag hero." What is this?
And then maybe we can get a free munch in there, my man.
I mean, or they might sponsor the show. I highly doubt it.
I don't want anything back. I've been really singing their praises solely because I've not had a bad meal there yet, and it was that good. We went for several lunch menus, and Maria went, "We should come back here at night time."
And I was like, "What? Are you fucking daft? It's the same food."
But we went back that night with another couple that we know, and we stuffed our faces, and we never even went to a pub. We just sat in there drinking all night until Glasgow shut down, and it was brilliant. And the food was, and I got a fucking ribeye steak out there, and it was unbelievable. But
by top the offer, I wasn't too happy about it, but it was still a great thing to go. Thanks. And I don't even think there's a guy that's called Roberta. I think that's like a woman, because if it was a guy, it'd be called Roberto. And I was like, is that Roberto or is that Roberto? Or is Roberto got a Roberto? I was like, man, this paella is amazing. No, that's spaghetti bolognese, mate. And I was like, all right.
You look at the pictures, just fucking want to go, aren't you?
Yeah. I can book a table for Sunday.
I'll be full price, but because we'll miss the deal.
Look at you.
But hey, but then, mate, I'm sensible, man. When I got up there, I don't want the 3 hours going up there absolutely fucking climbing the walls.
Well, we'll talk about this off here.
Right.
Let's wrap this one up. This is another episode. Let's just take that.
Yeah, you guys have been great.
back
Thanks.
again. Hashtag live this Sunday. If you don't have tickets and you want to come along, please do so. Hashtagshow.co.uk for the ticket links. I'll go to see tickets and search the hashtag show Sunday, the 6th of February. And before we do wrap up, let me just say this. Doors are at 1 p.m. Show starts at 2 and it finishes at 6. It's a 4-hour show.
6 or thereabout.
6 or thereabout. It'll finish at 6 o'clock. It's going to be great.
And
please do come and join us. It's the first live show in about 2 and a bit years because of COVID. So we hope to see you in Glasgow at Classic Grand on Sunday, the 6th of Feb.
And one lucky member of the live audience is going to win the very first hashtag house party. What's a hashtag house party, Scott?
Hashtag house party is when myself, Mallorca Lee, and Mr. Ross will come to your venue of choice, whether it be your house, whether it be your back garden, whether it be your treehouse, your garage, your man cave, or your lady cave, whatever you wish. You can invite friends, family, neighbours, you name it, and we will record a live podcast from your space. And
the only thing that we ask is you maybe bring a few light refreshments and some niblets while Scott and I are busy working. We don't care. Mr. Ross can just sit in the corner. He doesn't deserve anything. He'll just play the tunes. But, it'll be a great day.
It will be.
Every person will get a raffle ticket.
When they come in.
I've sourced a tombola. The last he sent us a video of the tombola. Did I send you that video?
It's I think so,
proper, horrible, big tombola. We'll put everybody's raffle ticket into the tombola. And I think as well, we could probably just to help cover maybe a few expenses, like the gear and that, we could maybe even sell a couple of extra ones for those who maybe feel extra lucky and want to buy some more raffle tickets, possibly, Scott. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yes, again, these are all things you can discuss.
Well, you need to let the people know. Somebody out there is going to be a winner.
Everybody who bought a ticket will get a raffle ticket. And if you want other raffle tickets, you can buy other raffle tickets. Yeah. Isn't life just wonderful?
And we've also got some hashtag t-shirts there that we'll be selling for something crazy like £10, £10 a t-shirt or something, just to get rid of the stock.
I'm trying to think where the fuck they are.
I've got them in a box.
Oh, well,
they found them in the classic.
Bloody fantastic.
Got them in the box.
I'm also on tour just now, just done a show in Greenock, which was absolutely bloody marvellous. It was great to be back, even though it was windy as Christ. So I'm going to be in Inverness, Eden Court Theatre on the 10th of February, Livingston on the 5th of March, and then Belfast on the 25th of March, and then we roll on to Crieff, Biggar, Aberdeen, Dunoon, and Edinburgh. Go to my website, bigscottgibson.com for tickets.
That's good that it's all coming together, the tour. Rejoice. Rejoice.
I should have been on gig number 5 now, and I'm only in gig number 1 because once again, everything's getting postponed because of fucking Nicola Sturgeon.
C'est la vie. I had the 1994 on Saturday, and it was good. Never sold out, but it was still good. But it was just good. I think we spoke about it. It was just good to be out gigging and getting the ball rolling and moving on to start promoting the next one. Oh, which I have got here.
Hello.
The next one's in March, 26th of March.
There you go.
1994, Closer to All Your Dreams with Ultrasonic, Rhythm Quest, Rhythmic State, Scott Brown, George Bowie, Trevor Riley, Joe Deacon, Malcolm X, and MC Cyclone. Boy, is that going to be a night. Get your tickets now. Early birds are out, £15. Yeah. VIPs are there. You get an event t-shirt. It's going to be a fantastic night. There's going to be some great music played from some good old guys. And,
good old boys.
Good old boys. It took me roughly about 4 or 5 years to try and find Rhythm Quest and book them for a show, talk them out of retirement and make this happen. So it's an exclusive for maybe the first time playing in Glasgow for round about something like 30 years. And anyone that knows their song, Closer to All My Dreams, yeah. It's a belter. Come along.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Become a hashtag hero if you're not already. Patreon.com/hashtag show. We'll see you on Sunday. If you're coming, and we'll speak to you next week. If you're not, all the best.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
We'll try and record it, but you're better going to these shows because the recordings are never deemed suitable for broadcast.
No, I mean, listen, most of the stuff that we talk about in this show is questionable and probably will lead to us being cancelled again at some point. But
as soon as we're famous, we'll get a show be cancelled. As soon as one of us becomes famous, it's cancelled.
If we were to broadcast a live show we not only would we get shut down, the venue would probably, in fact, Glasgow as a whole, in fact, Scotland would get shut down. The human race would cease to exist.
Yeah.
So, you've got to be there to experience it. Okay, now, that's us. Cheerio. Bye-bye. 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 The hashtagshow.co.uk